Good evening, students. In this class, I'll be talking about Lesson 6 Age of Revival. So, in this particular class, I'll be talking about the major events which took place in Age of Revival, and in the next part of Age of Revival, I'll be talking about major works in Age of Revival. So, without wasting time, let's start our video. Now, Age of Revival students extend from 1400 to 1550 AD. And by revival means making something reviving strong as well as popularizing it again. Age of Revival extends from this 1400 to 1550, and many political and cultural changes took place during this time. Now, students, during this time, this age has witnessed rebellions like Cade's Rebellion that took place from 1400 to 1450, and the next one was War of Roses. So, in this video, I'll be talking about Cade's Rebellion first, and then I'll be talking about War of Roses. So, I'll be talking about both these rebellions in detail and taking Cade's Rebellion first. So I'll be talking about Cade's Rebellion first. And the Cade's Rebellion, I'll cover this Cade's Rebellion in four parts. We'll be talking about causes of Cade's Rebellion, then the key characters, the persons who took part in Cade's Rebellion. Then I'll be talking about the events, and then what were the consequences of this rebellion. So moving further, students, and taking the Cade's Rebellion further, I'll be talking about causes of Cade's Rebellion first. So, talking about Cade's Rebellion, it was a popular revolt in 1450, which was fought against the government of England as Hundred Years' War, which took place between France and England, made English treasury go bankrupt. Now, students, Hundred Years' War I have already discussed in detail in our previous class, but I'll make you revise here again. Hundred Years' War was a series of conflicts between France and England, and the main conflict was over the land holdings that France had of England. So this was Hundred Years' War, and uh, students, now talking about the key characters. So the key characters which took part in this in the Cade's Rebellion were Jack Cade, then Archbishop of Canterbury, Sheriff of Kent, and peasants and small land owners also took part in Cade's Rebellion. Now, moving further, to the events. Moving further to the events, what happened here was the king sent his troops into Kent to break this protest. And during this protest, peasants also supported the protest they were as they were suffering a lot as they have to pay a huge tax. The rebels killed Sheriff of Kent, Archbishop of Canterbury, and the royal treasurer. Now, at this point, a truce was offered, and Cade was allowed to present his demands before the officials. And the royal officials agreed that they are ready to fulfill all the demands of Cade. And rebels left and went back to their home, thinking that all the demands would be fulfilled, and now their protest has successfully ended. But, students, what was the main twist here? The consequences. So, what happened was that many leaders were arrested and killed. Henry VI demanded that Cade should be arrested, and the mob accepted the promise of pardon, and the mob slipped away. So, this was all about Cade's Rebellion, and now I'll be taking you further to War of Roses. So, this was the first rebellion, Cade's Rebellion, And now we'll be talking about War of Roses. So, talking about War of Roses, the War of Roses was a series of civil war for control on the throne of England. And this War of Roses was a series of bloody wars for the throne of England and was fought between two royal families. And the royal families were House of Lancaster and House of York. Now, House of Lancaster, this House of Lancaster is represented by Red Rose, and the House of York is represented by White Rose. So, the war was waged between 1455 and 1485, and they were named after these flowery names, the House of York and the House of Lancaster. And after 30 years of political manipulation, the wars ended and a royal dynasty emerged. And this royal dynasty emerged, and the House of York plus House of Lancaster was now called as House of Tudor. So, with the House of Tudor, we see Henry VII as the first Tudor king. Now, I'll be taking you further. So, moving further, we see that Henry VII was the first monarch of House of Tudor, and he attained the throne. And Henry VII worked on England after 100 Years' War economically and infrastructurally to maintain or to raise England. And he also sent scholars to Italy so that they could learn classical language like Latin and Greek. And after this step of Henry VII, Renaissance began. So we'll be talking about Renaissance in a further class. And then what happened? This Tudor dynasty emerged. Now he married Elizabeth of York, and Henry reigned for 24 years. And he was succeeded by his son Henry VIII. Now we'll be talking about Henry VIII in detail. But before that, we'll be taking House of Tudor. So taking you through the House of Tudor. So please note down the points. Now, family tree, this is the family tree of Henry VIII, and Henry VIII married students 6 times. He married 6 times, and his first wife was Catherine of Aragon. This was his first wife, and from this Catherine of Aragon, which was the first queen, Henry had a daughter. She ruled, and the daughter name was Mary First. Mary First ruled for 5 years. She was Catholic, executed many Protestants, and hence was called Bloody Mary. I'll be talking about in the next class. Then next, now see students, why he married 6 times was that he wanted that he should have a son, and he also wanted that he should be succeeded by a son, so he married 6 times. Now the second queen to which Henry married was Anne Boleyn. Now Anne Boleyn also had a daughter named Elizabeth I, and this was the golden period of England when Elizabeth I ruled over England. She allowed both Catholics and Protestants, and she brought peace in England after so much of bloodshed that happened in the reign of Mary I when she ruled. I'll be talking about Elizabeth I in detail when I'll be talking about the Elizabethan age. Then, so Henry didn't had a son, so he married Jane, and the third wife was Jane Seymour. And when he married Jane, he had a son named Edward VI. Now he had a son finally named Edward VI. Edward VI ruled over England for 6 years and then he died. So his reign was very short and then he died. He promoted Reformation movement and he banned many Catholic practices. Now the only queen or the only person to promote Catholic and Protestant and brought peace in England was Elizabeth I. Then from the fourth, fifth and the sixth marriage, that's Anne of Cleves, Catherine Howard, and the sixth one is, you can note down, Catherine Parr. Catherine Parr Parr. So this was the sixth Queen of England, and from these three, no child was produced. So this was the Tudor dynasty, or the family tree of Henry VIII, and he married six times, and finally he had a son from Jane, the third queen. And uh, this was all about this class. I'll be talking about important works of Age of Revival in our next class. Till then, revise these lectures